Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be taking another look at XRP. XRP obviously had a pretty good day yesterday. I want to talk a little bit around what's going on there, what I would expect to happen from a technical analysis based on, what's gone on with the Ripple and SEC lawsuit and, what actually might happen next here. So as we get into this, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, let's just take a look at what's going on here. So this is the daily time frame, and as you can see, we've been kind of getting stuck into this this triangular wedge, right? We've got this descending trend line here, basically from the high point of 199, I think it is, approximately, right up in this sweet spot. Then we started to obviously pull back down. So those are the highs, March 2021, pulling down to the lows. Again, these lows down here, this is pretty much when Bitcoin was, down at about $28,000. And then soared back up again. Bitcoin hit its new all-time high. We found this trend line here by finding, a bit of resistance. So we pulled back down. We retested that low trend line. Okay, so finding support here. And there's a high possibility of moving up into this ABC move and testing out the, downtrend as well. That would approximately put us just at about $1, maybe a little bit higher than $1 there to find that resistance, and then potentially pulling back down. Now, in this particular kind of triangular wedge, it's going to coil up and it's going to get an explosive move at some point, but I don't think that is right now. I think that is going to be saved for when Ripple and the SEC finally actually get some kind of closure on the case, whether that's settlement or win, lose, draw. I don't think that generally matters, but I think it's going to be ultimately when you get closure, we're going to come out with an explosive move out of here. We've spoken about this before, with the kin token, what happened the very day after it was classified as a security token, and that Kick Interactive have to give 45 days notice to the SEC before any sales of the kin token do occur. So even after kind of like the worst scenario, we saw an explosive move. So for XRP here on this daily chart, we can obviously see that we're probably going to test this area. We can obviously measure this A wave here, just from this high point to the low point. And if we actually now transpose this over to this low point, you can see that we end up right in the exact same spot, right? $1.04 approximately. Okay, so that's kind of like the area that we're likely to come up to, but it won't be a straight move, not like we had with the A wave. We'll probably find some volatility in there. So let's actually jump down into our hourly view, because yesterday we obviously had, the judge ruling on whether or not to dismiss the fair notice defense, right? And that's been denied. So ultimately, it means that the SEC cannot or haven't been successful in dismissing that fair notice defense. And this basically is really good news for Ripple, and obviously consequently XRP and XRP holders. So what you saw from that moment that the judge kind of became public, I guess, that the SEC was unsuccessful in dismissing the fair notice defense. We saw this break to the upside, right? A pretty significant bump to the upside. So if anyone who was following yesterday's XRP video, we hit the 72-cent low. Okay, so that's effectively this yellow box area just down here, right? So if you were following yesterday's video, you could have taken advantage of that buy zone, and you would have got one hell of a bump on your investment, right? So this would have been a 17% push to the upside, just based on what we were talking about yesterday. So we've moved up quite significantly, and we're pulling back down. We're low in the stochastic RSI, so we're going to look for support, right? And we're going to think that that's going to come in somewhere around this area. So if we actually think about where we are right now, and we just start to draw one on, I think, yeah, it's going to be about there. So let me just grab a horizontal line, or horizontal ray, and I'm going to pop this right about there. And then I'm going to just change that into pink, so you can see that one just next to that blue line. So there's actually two right in here, 77.7 and 77.9. That's going to be the area that it looks like we might find some kind of support on. And it is possible that we come down a little bit lower. I wouldn't necessarily want to do that, but if we actually were to measure this distance here, and we were to think about where our bounce is going to be, that's right now bouncing on the 50. I guess we could have a 618. That would put us actually a pretty good level of support as well. So maybe 77.0. Okay, so there's a couple of different options there. So we're looking pretty much right in that zone. And if we were to think about buying a bounce, because I'll go through that in a second as to what I think is going to happen, but right in here between 77.9 and 77.0, that would be my little buy zone. And you know, obviously I'm not financial advice, I can't give you that, I'm not a financial advisor, but this would be where I would be looking at acquiring some for a short-term bump to the upside. And what we've actually got here is effectively a really large A wave up, a B wave that will come down potentially into this zone here, and then we'll push up, right? And if we take the measurements on this move, right, from that high point to the low point, just down here, make sure I get that on the nose. Just move the fib to that point. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to now, you know, transpose this over into the lowest point on this this box. So that gives us the lowest outcome. Okay, the lowest high. It could, of course, you know, go higher than this depending on where you retrace to, or it could go lower than this. Okay, so obviously it's all dependent on where that B wave goes, but the C wave might actually raise up to about 90.2 before starting to see a reversal. I'm not expecting this to go past the 1.618. That would make it an impulsive move, and that would make a really large wave one, right? And wave one's never allowed to be the largest wave. So I do not think that is something that we're likely to see. And, you know, we're going to find resistance right up there. So if that was wave three, I think that would make wave 5 really, really short. So I wouldn't want to necessarily see that. I'd want to see some kind of short corrective action after this, and then a push up to that larger point towards $1.04, for example. Okay, so if we are looking at this, you know, there's a bit of a buy zone, a bit of a bounce to the upside. That stochastic RSI on our hourly chart is getting corrected. It needs to come down a little bit lower, so we'll just have to monitor that situation to see how low it goes. The 4-hourly chart also needs a correction. The 8-hourly is just moving up into the overbought. The daily has more room to grow, and the weekly does as well. So what I'm thinking, guys, is that we are going to be pushing up towards that upper resistance trend line, towards that $1 threshold, and then we're going to come crashing back down. But I think we're going to see a couple of moves down from here as well on that journey to the upside. I would expect it to be a very, very choppy move to the upside, but overall we'll get to that $1.04 before we have a major correction. Okay, so we're thinking that yeah, we'll probably have a move to about 90 cents, then we'll have a corrective move that might take us back down towards the 80s, and then we push up to $1.04 approximately, and then we pull down, probably back down in, you know, to those low ranges that we were talking about before, you know, in terms of, you know, I don't want to say it, but like 60 to 50 cents, something like that. It'll be a significant kind of pullback. Profits will be taken at these key levels. And that's kind of how I look at that. But obviously it's too soon to really say. We'll have to just monitor how this situation goes right now, this next set of waves. I am anticipating a bit of a low buy-in point here. We want to kind of keep it in this point between 77.9 and 77.0. And then we want to push up towards 90 cents. As you can see, 91.5 just up here is a resistance line. This is the previous high point. So even if we just overwick this C wave a little bit, we're going to find resistance there. I'm not anticipating breaking past that resistance, and I would expect to kind of get a rejection from there as well. So guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, why not check it out? Links in the description down below, completely free to join, and a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. Guys, with all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.